use it or lose it. Don't tell me that the Orioles don't have a wealth of prospects down in the minor leagues. You got to use them or you got to deal them. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. So good to have you along. I'm going to tell you today the top 8 prospects in the Orioles farm system and why I believe now is the time to use them or deal them. Deal some of them, one of them maybe, in order to get that frontline starter. But before we get into business, please like, subscribe, do all of the things because we are here for you all season. Cam Bryce, my colleague, myself, Jon Leiberman, we are here for you every single day. Spring training, regular season kicks off in less than 6 weeks, and a lot of stuff is going to happen. I want to start with this, and that is, we keep hearing that the Orioles have depleted their farm system, that there's nothing left, and the Orioles shouldn't part with anybody else. But The Athletic, my friends at The Athletic, wrote a very good piece this week, and they outlined the top 8 prospects. They actually did the 20. We're going to do 8 of them that the Orioles have. And I want to go through them because I want you to see the depth that the Orioles still have on the farm and why I believe it's okay to deal 1 or 2 of these guys if you can get somebody like a Dylan Cease or a Michael King, or you tell me who you would like. You tell me in the comments if you would deal any of these guys that I'm about to share with you. So let's start with Samuel Basallo. Obviously, Basallo is blocked by Adley, okay, and probably will be for some time. So very talented, best catching prospect in baseball. Nobody is going to argue that. But he's not starting for the Orioles anytime soon, barring an injury to Adley, and luckily Sanchez is here too as a backup to Adley. But Basallo to me is such a good trade chip. Yes, he's the top prospect, but you answer the question. Let's just pretend it was a 1-for-1. It wouldn't be, but let's just pretend. Would you give up Basallo for Dylan Cease or Basallo for Michael King? That's why I said at the top of the broadcast, use it or lose it. You got to, at some point, play these guys. Coby Mayo, so incredibly talented. Most of last season at AAA, hit around 300. I think it was 287 or something. He hit 22 dingers, and that was in just 89 games. So look, he's going to be a star in this league. He is going to be a star in this league. But again, show me where Coby Mayo fits in right now in the Orioles starting lineup. He really doesn't. He doesn't. So I would say, again, I'm okay with parting with Coby Mayo to get a frontline starter because so much of baseball, when you get to the postseason, is just pitching and that intimidation factor. And if you have a Dylan Cease followed by a Grayson Rodriguez, hopefully a Kyle Bradish, who knows what Sagano's going to do, who knows what Zach Eflin is going to do, but it just gives you such a dimension to get you where you need to be. And that's my argument. Moving on, they have the 3rd prospect, Enrique Bradfield Jr. Look, the guy's a stud. He's a great defensive center fielder. He's got this great speed. The only knock on him, I'd say, would be his bat. His bat hasn't quite come along, I think, the way that many were hoping it would to this point. But Enrique Bradfield, again, an absolute stud. And while we're on studs, I do want to talk a little bit about, and that's why I say, use it or lose it. We have all of these guys, waiting for their chance in the bigs. Are you going to play them in the bigs? Are you going to send them somewhere to get what you need? What are you going to do? So moving on, I did want to talk a little bit about Chase McDermott because, you know, last year you'll remember that you had Chase McDermott and you had Cade Povich both making their way to the majors, but unfortunately Chase, had injury. So I think he ended the year with a 3.8 ERA, 22 appearances at AAA, missed all of August because of his injury. So he really wasn't able to prove that he belonged in the majors. We all remember that day in late July when he made his debut. It was on the road in Miami, and he set the Marlins down, I think in order in the first, and then he looked very, very impressive. So look, Chase McDermott is a guy who definitely could be in the rotation, but he won't. He won't be in the starting rotation. So again, I'm okay with parting with him. Moving on. Griff O'Farrell, a shortstop. Good D. His bat needs to get better. And again, no place for him right now in the majors. Vance Honeycutt, another great center fielder. And he has power, However, he strikes out a ton. Find me somebody who strikes out more than Vance Honeycutt. You'd be hard-pressed to find that. But again, another solid chip down on the farm who can be developed. We have actually heard the name Dylan Beavers. Again, probably an extra outfielder at this point, but he can play center. He's got speed. Doesn't have kind of the great bat that you would want as a starting outfielder out there, but again, a really, really good prospect to have, and the 7th, according to The Athletic, in the Orioles farm system. And I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Nester Germon, the right-handed pitcher, because I think this guy is going to be extremely, extremely special. I really do. Think about it. He was Baltimore's 11th round pick out of Seattle University, and he had a 6 ERA in his draft year. But the Orioles found something here because this guy's pushing 100 on the radar gun, and then he's got like this crazy slider that's like low 80s. So, I mean, he can mix it up. This guy, I believe, is going to be a star, an absolute star in the major leagues. Keep this name, remember it, Nester Germon, a righty, 11th round pick. He will be something special. So again, my friends, I say to you, the farm ain't as bad as people are making it seem to be. We have talent on the farm. And you know what? It's okay to part with some talent to try and win now. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. We'll talk soon. Take care.